Hello. Well, I was born and raised in the Chicago area, just north of here. And I was raised in a home that was not Christian at first. My dad was married a couple times. My mom was his second wife, and she was his wife because his first wife ran out and left him with his two children. So my mom was his caretaker, and so it's kind of a real sweet thing to talk about. But they fell in love, had me, got married, had me, and but my mom turned to alcohol, and she became an alcoholic. She ended up passing away when she was just 35 from her liver was totally gone from cirrhosis. So you can see how much she drank, and thus I don't touch the stuff because of that. But needless to say, my dad got married a third time, and she was a backsliding Christian. She had just arrived from overseas. Her church visited her, and she renewed her relationship with God and brought us kids to church. She had a couple kids. My dad had a couple kids, so she brought us all to church. And that's where I received Christ as my Savior. Grew up in a very strong Christian church on the south side of Chicago, and learned just everything there was to know about the Bible and about doctrine and how to teach it. Worked in a bus ministry and learned how to serve, and just it was the perfect thing to do. Um, when I decided when I got out of high school, I wanted to go to college, but I couldn't afford to go. So I worked downtown Chicago, analyzed pension investments as my first job. And then I saved up enough money and wanted to become a counselor. So I looked into schools, and a person from my church had gone to San Diego Christian College. And I thought, oh, great, Dr. Tim LaHaye's there. And I had read several of his books, so I thought, I'm going to go. Um, got there and found out he wasn't there. But it was exactly where God wanted me to be. Um, took some my psychology classes, met my kid's dad, um, and then we ended up getting married. The nickname of the school is called Christian Marriage College. Um, I did get a job um, out of my first job was teaching, and I did go. I'm sorry. Let me go back a little bit. I did go back and finish my teaching. I went into education. Went back and finished my teaching degree. Um, and then I got pregnant, had my children, raised my kids for a while, worked in my church, was a children's director there, had the privilege of working with Billy Graham and designing the children's program on Saturday when he came to San Diego for Mission San Diego. That was an awesome experience. There was three of us that designed that whole program. And to see 40,000 people um, and 10,000, I think it was like 8,000 or 7,500 people come to know the Lord is just beyond what I ever dreamed I'd ever be able to see. So it was a great opportunity. Um, from there, I, um, I, um, oh, the, things kind of happened at my church, and I needed to go back into teaching, and went to a charter school and taught at a charter school for over 10 years. As my marriage changed, I waited till my children were out of high school, and then I came back home to Chicago here. Got a job teaching. I teach, looked everywhere in the county, North County, South County, northern suburbs. There's suburbs out here, not counties. But just checked everywhere because I have family all over the place, and found a job down here, and I've been teaching here ever since. Um, I'm a fourth grade teacher, and we change classes, and so we're single subject, and I teach all the science and the writing to the fourth graders. And I love it. It's just really exciting. Um, and then in my spare time, like I have any, I do love to sew, I love to quilt, and I love to garden. And I do that quite often. I love to read, but there's really no time to read. I squeak the other things in my free time, but if I start to read, I do fall asleep, kind of a thing. Um, from this class, I hope to learn how to have more integrity in my life. I'm really challenged by reading the book by Dr. Cloud, and just it's really challenging me to think of integrity in a whole different light. I always thought I knew what integrity was and thought I had a lot of integrity, but finding out, no, I'm barely touching the surface. Um, and I know, and I want to be a person of covenant. I was raised knowing that a covenant was something um, we were taught in our church that a covenant was um, that God made was a blood covenant, and how he made a covenant. The Old Testament and the New Testament made a covenant for Christ and that he would come, and that a covenant was something very serious. And so to be a covenant leader, I kind of have that thought in my head of this very serious thing, and a very spiritual thing. And so I'm really interested to learn more about what this means. And I know that this will help me to be a much better teacher presently in my career. But then in the future, what I hope to do with my degree, my doctoral degree, is I hope to teach teachers, and I hope to get a job at a university and teach teachers how to be great teachers. That is my long-term goal. So that's me, and thank you, and I can't wait to meet everybody else in class.